Okie dokie, everybody, welcome back. You're here at the Fox Den with Pater Voss, the Papa Fox, and we're going to continue playing Tyranny by Obsidian Entertainment. I have just had a devil of a time trying to get this episode recorded, and so I'm going to skip over a lot of the stuff. I've read it, this will be my third time going at it. So there's this conversation. I have to interrogate some guards
what
here.
What do we have here?
And I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to go through all of the stuff, and if you want to pause and read it yourself, you may. But I am absolutely through. Or maybe not, because this conversation is kind of important. Well, let's just go ahead and do it. I still have some chores I need to do tonight, so let's be about it. Well, look who we have here. Chewing on some manner of cud, a heavy-set soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The fate binder finally shows herself. I'm Reg. The second soldier chimes in, and this is Baz. We were wondering when you might pay the camp a visit. The Fifth Eye has been a little starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz knits her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. Reg clears his throat loudly, scowling at Baz. Something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in camp who will give you answers, or even a smile. Anything we can do for you? Tell me about yourself, Baz. I was a sellsword at the beck and call of fat merchants, just another dented face in the crowd. After too many years of spilling blood in local skirmishes, I realized that I was only killing time. Then Kira showed me a better way. Unity, purpose, and now I fight for something, not just someone. Been watching the Scarlet Furies, practicing my blade work. Not good enough to join them yet, but I bet I could show you a thing or two. Tell me about yourself, Reg. He scratches the back of his head, at a loss for words. I had a family, a farm. Then the chorus came, and, well, now I have the chorus. Priorities change when you hear the screams in the night and feel a blade pressed to your neck. Things like family or farms don't seem to matter as much. I used to have nightmares thinking about the culling. Felt awful, remembering how I hacked my ma and dad to bits just so I could survive. When the Scarlet Chorus conscripts a village, they hold a ceremony known as the culling. Every able-bodied man, woman, and child is given a weapon and forced to fight their family and friends to the death. Those who survive are deemed strong enough and free from old ties to join the army of the Voices of Nerat. That's creepy and terrible and awesome writing. Not awesome thing, but awesome writing. I really hope that we get a chance to switch sides, because that would be an interesting story to tell about someone who starts off surrounded by both people like the chorus and the disfavored, and then how tough it is to shift momentum, because that can't be an easy position to be in. Reg's eyes shadowed for a moment with sorrow, then take on a feverish gleam. The Fifth Eye heard me howling one night, pulled me out of the horde, and took an interest in me. Now I'm studying magic, calling fire from nothing. If my ma and dad could see me now, they'd be proud. Tell me about your time in the Scarlet Chorus. Reg and I were conscripted at the Gates of Judgment. He used to fight for Okan, me for Azure. Baz chuckles, scratching her chin in thought. How many fights have we survived so far? 11? Reg begins to count in a series across his fingers. No, 14. I count each day in sunder separately. The chorus is... Baz looks around the camp and shrugs. Not as bad as it smells. The strong, like me and Reg, we're allowed to fight, take what we want and what we deserve. We live only as well as our strength affords us, as it should be. A empire that relies on this kind of thing is no empire to be in service of. What can you tell me about the Fifth Eye? Rick trades an uncomfortable glance with Baz and lowers his voice to a whisper. They say he shares a direct link with the Voices of Nerat. Guard your tongue around him. He's a little... wild? Bloodthirsty? Mad? Baz thinks for a moment. Brilliant. Reg flinches and glances over his shoulders. I was going to say eccentric. The chorus isn't picky about who joins the ranks, so you can expect to find some unusual types. Most are as likely to kill you as promote you. What do you know about Vendrian's Well? The walls might seem imposing, but the Vendrian Guard do a better job of hiding its weaknesses than fixing them. She shrugs. We took the Citadel once before, we can take it again. We have to, don't we? Reg looks up at the opposing tower of the spire. Though Kyros knows I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. She follows his gaze and shakes her head. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fatebinder. It's not cowardice, it's just superstition. Are you afraid of the spire? Sorry, Fatebinder, I should not have mentioned anything. The fact of the matter is we were told to stay away from the spires and old walls ever since we were babes. All of the dumb childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed the same. Imagine being a soldier of the chorus pissing himself over architecture. More like what's underneath it, Reg frowns. The Bane lurk around those old sites and kill anything they can catch unawares. I've no wish to meet the Bane in combat unless there are 100 blood chanters at my back. Baz twists her lip in a frown as she considers this. Me neither, I suppose. Well, farewell. Now we're going to talk to this guy, and I'm actually going to skip over all the stuff with Salveros. Needless to say, you can read it as you wish. You can pause here, and I'll give you a little bit of time to peruse over all the responses, like so. Basically, it's the same. Same old bickering between the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. So it's kind of is how it is. What do you mean? There we go. He's actually here to be a liaison, so that's awesome. But they don't like him, which is expected. And why was he? Well, what do we think? He doesn't like him? Okay, cool. Punishment? Probably is punishment. What exactly did you do? Well, he mentioned that he wasn't. The Iron Marshal wasn't fully using the Scarlet Chorus, which. There we go. And farewell. So, we can't talk to these prisoners until we talk to the Fifth Eye. And this one I will have to go through. Squealing teenager's timber, so if my voice for him makes your gums itch, then I think I might be doing it right. The binder of Tunon arrives. Squealing with a teenager's timber. That was not squealing with a teenager's timber, sorry. The Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives. But worry not. We'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears, the Fifth Eye beckons you to stand close, wagging with blood-spattered glove. Now that you've issued this edict and doomed us all to die, perhaps you can come help. Have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Chirps of laughter emanate from under his mask. I trust you are getting your warriors ready for battle. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the Citadel beneath the mountain spire, but we have learned this is not their only nest. The Fifth Eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the Outer Valley. And unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. I'm just going to be silent. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims she can lead us to the Vendrian Guard's secondary camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could certainly use your help questioning this Variah Kell. Perhaps you'll get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try to take their captain and show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. I'll speak with them. I'll meet you there. She's waiting with the other prisoners. And we have to wait for this guy to make it all the way over here. I kind of wish we wouldn't have to wait for something like this to happen, but that's a minor setback when it comes to the grand scheme of things. I've again recorded this episode like 3 times. That's the only reason why I'm a little bit irked. Variah Kell, please Someone! I wish to bow before the voices of Narat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. A woman in the makeshift armor of the Vendrian Guard lurches forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggest she has been forced to stand for days. This one, he flippantly waves at the prisoner, was hollering earlier that she knows the location of the Vendrian Guard encampment. But she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing. The prisoner turns pale a moment before a look of determination comes over her face. That I wanted a guarantee I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain. Then I'll talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join the Vendrian Guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. Okay. Done for good. Release. Subterfuge. Well, she doesn't exactly know. With the stamp of his fingers, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off a fallen guardsman that she gestured to. It's nonsense, just a mash of words. Laughter erupts from under the mask. She said she had information. She gives us garbage. Slay this wretch for wasting our time. He snaps his fingers at a nearby Scarlet Fury, who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. I heard her say she'd swear fealty to the voices of Narat. An initiation rite should be in order. Seeing as you are an expert on the subject of fate, I will entertain your wisdom on the matter. What then would you propose we do with her? I am going to choose option 3. I don't think this is the right one, but I need to hedge my bets with the Vendrian Guard. I really don't want to do anything that can damage their position right now. Especially if I want to get on Eb's good side and this other prisoner we have over here. Oh, well, we just chose that one by accident. Oh, well. There we go. But it is going to show some mercy for this person. Okay. Well, I guess we'll deal with that when we come to it. And besides, if we always need to return to the Vendrian Guard to act well my part and await further instructions from the chorus. I suppose if we need to, or if we're given the option, we can always double-cross the double-crosser. We're now closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position. Not with this cryptic mess. She promised us answers and all she gave us was gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
Excuse me? The voice comes from another prisoner tied up next to Varaya. An older gentleman with the quills, ink vials, and parchment scrolls one finds on the sages of the School of Ink and Quill. Ink smudges cover his cheeks, temples, and ears. His clothes appear charred, and between the rips of the fabric you spot burn scars along his arms. Despite being emaciated and tied to a post, he offers a beaming smile. Who are you?
I'm Sage Lantry, one of the hired quills that was coordinating missives between the Vendrian Guard captains. They aren't paying me anymore and aren't coming to my rescue. So I'll decipher that parchment for you. That's what smart prisoners do, right? Make themselves useful.
Here's what you can hear about the hired quills. I'll leave this up just for a moment so you can pause and read it at your leisure. And now we'll go on. Can you read this?
Well, let me see. I can't.
You hold the parchment in front of the bound sage, and his eyes dart down the length of the missive. He reads the words a second time, nodding in silence.
I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
I do like him. I hope he doesn't turn out to be a total monster of a character. I hope he can be, hopefully, a connection we can get Eb on our side, or vice versa, we on Eb's side. A few hours? Either you can read it or you cannot. What use is a sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. It can't hurt to give him a few hours. You read the edict. I don't need you to tell me the sundial is working against us. This addled old bag is just trying to stall us. Untie him and give him a chance to translate. Are you giving me orders, Binder? Does this look like the Tunan's court? Last I checked, only the Archon of Secrets can tell me what to do with a prisoner. The Crimson Spear pounds his staff on the ground. If this old man wants freedom, we shall give him his fair shot at a trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
We're not even going to take this guy to trial. He's coming with us. Release this prisoner at once. I'm taking him into my custody. Not a chance. He's our prisoner. If you think you can crack the information we need out of his skull without troubling the Archon, that's one thing. But you're not walking out of here with our property. We're going to go with lore. True, but by Kyros' law, he could swear fealty to me and become my sworn vassal, my property.
A most clever technicality. And I would happily serve the Archon of Justice's warrior. Especially if it means getting out of this mess without a perforated lung.
Silence, old man. Good luck bowing to the Fatebinder with your head pulled from your neck. The Fifth Eye jabs a finger at you. The chorus earned this prisoner right and proper. If you wish to rob me, go ahead. But all will know you're the sort of Fatebinder to take as you please. We're going to go with athletics now. Grab him by the mask. Did you just tell me no? The chorus warrior emits a whimpering squeal as you grab him by the chin of this mask and pull him up close. Gloved hands press against you, but try as you might, his push cannot exceed your pull. Release the prisoner to me, and I won't shame and degrade you in full view of your followers. Yes, yes, he grunts and stammers as he struggles to wrest free from your grip. Once you release him, he shuffles to regain his composure. You two! Dusting himself off with one hand, he waves to the two nearby conscripts. Release the sage. He's the Fatebinder's problem now. The sage is unbound from the post. Stiff legs nearly buckle as he attempts to walk, and his arms flex and flail in their new freedom. Wiping sweat and grime from his brow, the sage steps close to you with a nervous smile.
Thank you. Oh, I thought I was going to wind up as another corpse in that pile. Now, hand me that parchment. The sooner I can find out what it says, the sooner I can get out of this place.
Well, let's see what we have. Well, not much of the parchment, much of the parchment was weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. The note makes mention of a meeting spot west of Tripnettle. So the old sage knows his words after all. I'd ask that you travel ahead and see if you can't get this Captain Florid to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley if yours is the first face they see. I know the area, and I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I'm eager to be far away from the stench of this camp. You're offering to come with me. Why? Oh, because the alternative is what? Living here with these illiterate brutes? My old study is under a river of fire, and there's no family missing me. Besides, I'd much rather chronicle the binder that twice proclaimed an edict of Kyros. I'd be a fool to let someone else write your story. You want to chronicle me? Well, of course. Even if the burning library is never rebuilt, our work to chronicle the days and events needn't cease. And if you're a noteworthy player in this war, I can't think of another living Fatebinder, and you're a noteworthy player in this war. I can't think of another living Fatebinder that has been twice given the honor of proclamation. Well, fine. If you're so eager, come with me. Splendid. You won't be disappointed. I know I may seem old and frail, but I know how to step lightly and how to not get killed. Really, I won't slow you down. Lead the way and let me know if I can be of service. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Tripnettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. Oh, okay. I am crossing my fingers and hoping that this recording took. This is going to be the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed, go ahead and hit that like button or subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my other work, or give me some feedback if you want. And as always, it's great to see you all here at the Fox 10, and I hope you come back and pull up a chair next time for some more Tyranny. Alrighty, you take care now. Bye.